US.09. This state standard says you need to be able to compare and contrast the ideas and philosophies of Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand who Booker T. Washington is. And W.E.B. Du Bois for that matter. Both of these guys were leaders in the African American community shortly after the Civil War was over. And both of these guys are going to have different opinions, and there's a big rivalry that's going to exist between the two. But we're going to look at Booker T. Washington first. So Booker T. Washington, this is his picture over here. You can see him. Very comparable to someone you were probably more aware of, Martin Luther King Jr. Those two beliefs would have been very, very, very similar to each other. So Booker T. Washington really appealed more to the older generation. And we're going to discuss why exactly that is. But the older generation is probably going to find him a lot more in line with what they kind of believe than with the younger generation. So first thing you got to talk about with Booker T. Washington is he had two really kind of fundamental ideas. Okay, one was assimilation, and the other idea that he believed in is called accommodation. And these two ideas kind of formed the backbone of his belief, of how he believed that African Americans should be treated after the Civil War. So let's just go through each of them together. So accommodation, we'll go through that one first. So when Booker T looked at Jim Crow laws, racism, all this stuff that was going on in the South, he understood that there was nothing he could do right then and there to change it. So that's where the idea of accommodation came up with. He said, look, we need to accept racism right now, and we need to work to change it. It's not going to happen overnight, but if we accept it and work, we're going to be okay. So the idea, kind of like I said, was to accept racism, work to change. Now, when I say accept racism, that doesn't mean that he was like accepting that and he was okay with it, like, and believed it. No. He believed in equality, but he said, you're not going to change the mind of these people right now. We're going to change it over time. And then that kind of leads into his second belief, which is called assimilation. Assimilation is where the two cultures, white and black, would come together and form this new assimilated culture. So it's bringing together white and black. So he said, after a time of accommodation, we're going to be able to be assimilated. We're going to be this new, unique, distinct culture that doesn't view race as anything different. It's just, the color of the skin. It has nothing to do with a person's ability. And so that's going to be his goal. And the big thing that Booker T believed is when it came to accommodation that African Americans needed to work to better themselves. And the biggest way that he believed that African Americans need to better themselves is through jobs in agriculture. And he really believed that farming was the perfect job for African Americans. And so far to the point that he actually founded, the Tuskegee Institute, which is a college that's goal was to teach farming to African Americans. He said, look, we're going to have to work really, really hard right now. We're going to have to better ourselves, educate ourselves, get a good job. And over time, we're going to end racism. And so that's kind of his idea. It's kind of this, start from the bottom and work your way to the top. All right. So his goal, he wants to start at the bottom, work for the top. And he says, look, it's probably not going to be, next year or the year after that we achieve the top, that we achieve equality. But if we are constantly bettering ourselves, if we're, educating ourselves, getting good jobs, making a wage, we're going to over time achieve assimilation. And so this is really why the older generation is really going to support him. It's because the older generation knew that it was going to take patience to be able to change the minds of these racist Southerners. And most young people didn't want to buy into this idea that over the course of your lifetime, you might see the fruits of your labor. The older generation understood this and they were more patient. And so a lot of people, mainly the older generation, are going to follow Booker T. Washington and his beliefs. And last thing about Booker T. Washington, until we talk about his rival down here, his most famous speech that he's going to give is called the Atlanta Compromise speech. right? And this is his like kind of, belief defining speech. And this quote down here is an excerpt from that speech. And so we're just going to kind of read through it and talk about it a little bit once we get done with it here. So, the quote down here, it says, "No race can prosper till it learns that there is as much dignity in tilling a field as in writing a poem. It is at the bottom of life we must begin and not the top. Nor should we permit our complaints to overshadow our opportunities." And I'm telling you, that's an awesome quote, and it really sums up this guy right here and what he believed. So he says, "No race shall prosper till it learns there's as much dignity in tilling a field as in writing a poem." So he's saying, this minuscule job of tilling a field, being a farmer, you have to learn that it is just as honorable as a job as being this scholar, this person at the top of life. He said, we're starting a new life as freedmen. We need to start at the bottom, work our way to the top. We'll till the field for now until later we can write the poem. And in the next sentence, he even says that it's at the bottom of a life we must begin and not at the top. I mean, it's like the song started from the bottom, now we're here. I mean, that's the whole idea with Booker T. Washington. And this last one, I just think this is my favorite sentence of it all. "Nor should we permit our complaints to overshadow our opportunities." He's saying, look, we're a newly freed people. There's opportunity out there for us. We just have to take it. Now, there are going to be things to complain about. There's racism. The KKK is doing terrible things. But we have an opportunity here. Let's go out and let's grab this opportunity. Let's not complain about it, and let's work. And through this work, we're going to better ourselves. So on the other end of the spectrum from Booker T. Washington is Webb Du Bois. And, just like we first talked about with Booker T. Washington being supported by the older generation, Webb Du Bois is going to be supported by the younger generation. And like we said about, Booker T. Washington, he was preaching this patience, this over time, we're going to fix things. And Webb Du Bois, that's not his mentality. And these two guys were rivals. Okay, they were big time rivals. They were both alive about the same time, and they both kind of competed with each other to be the defining voice of African Americans during this time period. So Webb Du Bois, the main thing that he kind of preached is he wanted equality now. Right? He said, look, we've worked our butts off as slaves. We've been treated horribly. We've been discriminated against. We deserve equality now, not tomorrow, not the next day, not a year from now, like Booker T. Washington says, but now. And so that's going to be the big reason why this younger generation are going to be drawn to him. I mean, think about it. You're this young person who's just starting your life. You don't want things to get better 50 years from now. You want it now. And that's really what he preached. And to kind of help with this equality, he's the founder of what's called the NAACP. And what the NAACP is, it's a group that fights for rights of minorities. And it represents minorities anytime they're discriminated against. It does some really good things. NAACP stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And this organization, like I said, it's going to be instrumental in helping Webb Du Bois fight against inequality, against unequal treatment, unfair things that were happening in the South. The other thing about Webb Du Bois is he believed that education was really, really important, as did Booker T, whereas Webb Du Bois wanted to focus more on the upper level of society. Okay, whereas Booker T is sitting here saying, we got to start from the bottom. All right, Webb Du Bois said, go be that poet. Go be the guy that's writing the poem, the guy that's owning the business. You don't have to just be a farmer. And so, this is kind of a difference between these two guys. So let's look at the quote down here. Now, the quote that we're going to use for Webb Du Bois here is he's kind of attacking Booker T. Washington. And this speech, like with Booker T, we talked about the speech that he made, the Atlanta Compromise. This speech is from a speech called The Souls of Black Folks. And this is going to be his kind of defining speech. So let's look at this quote right here, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So the quote says, Mr. Washington, obviously talking about Booker T. Washington, is especially to be criticized. His doctrine has caused the whites, North and South, to shift the burden of the Negro problem to the Negro's shoulders and stand apart as spectators. when in fact the burden belongs to the nation. The South ought to be led by honest criticism to assert her better self and do her full duty to the race she has cruelly wronged and is still wronging. So, like I said, the first thing he starts out doing is he starts out attacking Booker T. Washington. He's saying, look, this guy's been preaching this doctrine, saying that, it's not the South's fault. It's the African Americans' fault. It's our fault. We should be the ones that work hard to achieve equality. And so he's saying, it's not African Americans' fault, is what he's saying. All right. It's, the South is what needs to change. We don't need to change. All right. And he says, they're putting on the Negro shoulders and they're standing apart as spectators. By saying, that's what he thinks Booker T is making people do. And then he says down here, and this is where he kind of hits his stride, he said the South ought to be led by honest criticism. All right. And I think that's an important part of Webb Du Bois, is this idea of honest criticism, this idea of, hey, let's really look at the problems here, and let's criticize. Let's point out where the South is wrong and where we can fix it. To assert her better self and do full duty to the race she has cruelly wronged and is still wronging. And so that just kind of shows his idea of now, right? You're wronged us, you've been wronging us, we want equality, we want it now. So last thing we're going to look at with this is we're going to look at a Venn diagram real quick to kind of summarize these two guys. And what this Venn diagram is going to allow us to do is just, like I said, summarize everything and then to look at the small area in the middle that they actually had in common. So let's start with the area they had in common. That's always a good place to start before you talk about what made them different. So both of these guys are going to push for education. All right, they both believe that education is a critical part for African Americans to improve their lot in life. The other thing they believed is they believed in equality. Now, they didn't agree on, when equality was going to happen, but nonetheless, they believed in equality. So let's just go kind of and just put the main ideas with each of them. We'll use red for Booker T. Washington. So Booker T. had his ideas of accommodation. Remember, that was where you were going to accept racism, work to change it. And he also had his idea of assimilation. All right, Booker T. also believed that farming was the ideal job where African Americans should start in their ascent to the top. And Booker T., his famous speech is called the Atlanta Compromise. All right, then we'll use, let's just say, blue for Webb Du Bois. So, let's add, with Booker T, that it was the old generation that really supported him. So let's go through Webb Du Bois now, like I said, using that color blue. So Webb Du Bois, some of the different things about him. One, he was obviously the founder of the NAACP. He wanted equality now. He wanted jobs in upper society. I don't think, he believed there was anything wrong with being a farmer, but he was basically saying we should push for these jobs in upper society. We don't have to start from the bottom. We're just as good as white Americans are. Why should we have to start at the bottom and work our way to the top? And then the other thing was his speech. His speech was called The Souls of Black Folks. And like we said, these two guys were big-time rivals. They, disagreed with each other on the idea of how to accomplish equality. But they both agreed that education and equality were very, very important things that all African Americans should have access to.